Okay, so good evening. I'm really. I was wondering how to start this conversation tonight, but after this show, I'm pretty sure that I would like to ask you about your emotions right after. So, what are your feelings? And I will start not from you, Joanna, because your feelings might be already well elaborated, I guess. But I will first ask Anna Zabrodzka, if I could, okay?
Okay. I have a lot of feelings. First of all, I work as an intimacy coordinator, and I'm very curious. How did you work, all of you, with intimacy? How did you prepare? I'm very so. The first feeling is curiosity.
Paula, what are your emotions?
I'm sad. I'm sad because of what I saw because of the subject, and I have many thoughts about actors' empathy, and I remind my experience with yes, and I'm also really curious how they work, how they are feeling now.
Okay, so these are the questions to Joanna, I guess, because she's an expert here, because she knows how they worked, because she's the director of this show. So would you like to say a few words about your way of working here?
Oh, way of working with the nudity, or
with
yes.
The show in general, not only with nudity.
Yes, because when we started working on the performance, we didn't plan to be naked. It was not like that I came and say, "Hey, we have this story, and I will need you to be naked." It was not the subject. It came through the process. It was understood that for the play, it was the best to show naked body, but it wasn't like we wanted to show naked body. We understood that our body is our ecosystem, which corresponds with body of animals, with the environmental, with nature, is some way the same, because we are born naked and yes. So slowly we get into the process that we all understood that this is the best way, but there was never. I didn't feel that there was like a push from me or from Laura's scenography that we have to do this way. We would find another way, but this was the best way to show the connection between humans and animals. Because what connects us is our body. We all have bodies, and through bodies we feel. And to show feelings of animals, we want to connect with the body of actors. So this is how we slowly start to understood that. And the second thing is very important, that actors, they feel very good in the group together. And this was a big part of it. It would not happen, I think, if they would not feel comfortable with themselves. And I was very lucky, because I came to the group of people who like each other and respect each other and trust each other, and that's why, some way, I think it will be very hard or maybe impossible without this. So, yeah.
Welcome, Dávid. It's nice to have you here. And I asked the ladies about their feelings and emotions after seeing this show, and asked Joanna about the way you worked on this show. And I wanted to ask you about your emotions during the performance.
So, my emotions during the performance, okay. Well, I don't know, a lot of emotions was present. Actually, one of the biggest, biggest days was when war in Ukraine happened, and till that day, there was another performance, and after it was a whole different meaning behind that, and all of the scenes were seen from a different point of view, and it was really touching in a different way. So it took us into some deeper meaning, but we felt okay, so now we understood fully what is it about, but we can't push it this is the performance about the war, and this is because it was it's there, it's present, it's really touching for us emotionally, but yeah, it was really big moment for the performance.
Yes, because we started to rehearse 1st February, and we really wanted to make a little bit more environmental, ecological subject, but we couldn't, because when the war started, it was just so obvious that all this. When Felix Salten was writing this, he was before everything happening, and because he was a person who actually hunter, so and he connected us to two subjects: a Jewish community in Vienna and the animals who are also all the time scared of this one man. So he actually perfectly connected this. And because I've done some performance before about Second War and Polish history, so I was trying to kind of go away from, not go away from the subject, but I wanted to just show more go through the animals more, but it just couldn't. It was just there. It all the time we started, it was there. So that's why.
So you were caught up by the history somehow, because it changed your plans and forced you to change a little bit point of view. But I was thinking during all that show about one thing that I wanted to ask you. Would you like to show this performance to your children? Because I would really love to, because I think that it is really pacifistic, and I think that in Poland, for example, it wouldn't be possible because of the nudity, and that's some contradiction. So we can show, hunting people, for example, but we can't show naked bodies. And that's, a bit of paradox here, which I really can't understand. And thinking about nudity is thinking also about boundaries. Why can't we accept this nudity, how to act in order to make it like, safe, secure, non-violent, and how to work with people who are going to show their bodies on stage.
In my work, what I do, I work with actors, and my job, my work is to take care of them during preparation and during acting in intimacy scenes. What does it mean? It means that, and intimacy coordination takes part. I work, first of all, I meet with all actors and ask them what are their experience in nudity, in acting and nudity, in intimacy scenes. Intimacy scenes is nudity, is kissing, is showing part of bodies, is touching. I speak with them about their boundaries, because everybody has boundaries and everybody has different boundaries. For example, there are people who at the first meeting kiss each other and touch each other, and for other people, boundaries are not close, dalekie, far, thank you, very far. And they need to prepare to touch, for example. So I speak with them about all these boundaries. I speak with them about scene, about all contexts. What does it mean that, for example, they have to show their body? Which part of body they can show and which part of body they cannot show. They do not want, and this is their boundaries. We speak also because there are some clothes which hide some parts of body. So this is also what I speak with them about. I also speak, and this is a very, very important part of our work, is consent. What does it mean? It means that they need to accept, they need to agree, and this agreement should be conscious agreement. So they need to know what they will do, how, in which circumstances, and this agreement should be freely given. We speak about communication, how they're supposed to communicate. We speak about choreography. I speak with director. What does director need? What is important for the director? What is motivation of scene? And then we, I'm kind of also advocate and some part of preparation.
Okay, thank you very much. And I wanted to ask the actors, I will start from Paula, about your experiences and about, this way of overcoming your shame, because there is always some shame involved, like, be naked in front of everybody. It's like, how can you turn these feelings into art, and can art justify your actions? Maybe if you prefer, you can talk about, the professional way of doing it, or about your own professional way.
It's I think very individually. It depends from the situation, from the performers, from the spectacle, from the people that I work with, and the subject and the character that I play. And I had two situations with nudity, yes, and both in both cases I knew I didn't have someone like you to prepare me before, but when I'm coming back in the past, I think that I knew what I'm gonna do, what I'm supposed to show, in what atmosphere, and the reason why am I doing it. So it was a shame. I think about the shame, the word, because it's like every time when you go on the stage, you can feel ashamed just because of you are on the stage. So, but if you know exactly what you want to do and why you are doing it, you are not ashamed. You are just you are just in an atmosphere, in character. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think about the shame. You think about the goal. You think about the world that you create in your mind, the world which is created by your colleagues on the stage, by director, scenographer. So I wouldn't make a difference between being in a clothes or being without clothes. Last time I had a bigger problem to show on the stage in a costume which has a color of skin and it's very close to the skin. It was more difficult for me than being close, being naked in different case.
Okay, Dávid, and how about you? I mean, about your experiences and your ways of, professional preparations for such a show when you are in your full body nudity, in the middle of a stage.
Yeah, I think that nudity is just another way to express something. So it's really not like a shameful thing for me. And also maybe because I just know what I'm doing and I feel good about myself. Maybe from the beginning it was like, I need to squeeze my stomach or something like that to look better, but it's just not the case anymore. So I don't think that is a shame because of the nudity. I think that I would feel ashamed if I was doing something I couldn't stand behind, or something like that.
Okay, thank you very much. And Joanna, I think that in this very performance, it just couldn't be different. It was just like it was, and it was perfect, because what it showed is some equivalence of human and animal body, and nudity was a perfect tool for showing this. But on the other hand, there is also this discussion on the human role in this forest, and I was really looking forward for the hunter to get undressed, because it was the moment when he showed as an animal, as all of us. And how would you, describe this change of perspective that comes here on the stage from, human as a crown of creation to human as a part of the more broad cycle of nature?
Okay, so Sorry. So, what is actually the question?
It is the question about, because this performance changes the perspective, from the humanocentric one to the
yes,
much broader
yes, of course.
thing.
Of course, I understand now. Okay. Yes. So the subject, actually, that human is in the center of everything. It's part of like my research in theater. So because I've written environmental themes in theater, so we all think that really we are center of the world. Yes, for many years. I don't know how many, but this is how it works. But slowly we have to change the perspective because, because I would not. It's because we have to change it because we can continuously oppress others, oppress people, oppress animals, oppress nature, and it's all connected. It comes from the same source. It comes from the source of oppression, and this is in nature is different. And we try to, in the performance, show it that the animal kills because he's hungry, or he kills because maybe he has some. I'm not science, so I don't know exactly, but I have a feeling that it comes from different logics or nature, and there is a new way of thinking, and also in theater, that we have to change those perspectives. And for me, it's very interesting that I start looking different, and my connection with others. With others means with people, with animals, with nature, because we see where it's going. Because work, when it comes, of course, it's obvious, but when it comes to the work, it's also killing the nature. Yes, it's all connected. It's circles. So I think this book was actually really great written by him, because he showed this. So maybe in 100 years ago, because it's almost 100 years ago, it was not so such a subject, but actually it is right now. We cannot stop. We cannot continuously use our power, which we have as humans, on others. We have to. We are enough conscious that we have to stop. And I think this was why we changed it, because we look for the end very long time, and I knew from the beginning that the subject was the whole subject of the play was that the human are disconnected from nature, and what does it mean, and that he has to go back, and what does it mean that he has to go back to the nature? It doesn't mean that he goes to the forest. It means so many things. It means the way we're thinking of everything. So this was like the main subject to show to create in the performance. So we didn't know it will actually be successful. Yes, because it's quite hard to this thought, this subject connects, because it's in some way very obvious subject, and in some way very complicated. So it has both, and that's why it's hard. But that's why we changed the perspective, and we wanted to show that he is part. In the end, he is part of the nature, and even if he can do everything, and he's so powerful human, that he still belongs to the ground. So, yeah, this was just this. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that this last gesture was really powerful, and that's why, overpassing these boundaries of which divide human from animal, they are all invented and fragile in some way. And nowadays, when we are facing the climate change. We are maybe more aware than we were in 1923, but still, the thing is that's the most important thing, actually. And I was also thinking, watching the show, about the difference, because in preparation of myself to this seminar of today, I read George Agamben's Nudity, and he writes about nudity as something theological, because it comes from some forbidden things that you can do because you are bound by faith or a church or whatever habit we have. And on the other hand, when we will think about animal nudity, they are nude. They don't wear clothes. Why? Why people wear clothes? Because we committed a sin, yes? And shame was, before, because we have sinned, or Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And therefore we have to wear clothes, because we are sinful. And animals, they don't have to wear clothes because they didn't do anything wrong. And it really changes the perspective one more time, I think. That's the twist. And but on the other hand, animals are their bodies. And if you would read all these philosophical books about body and soul and this huge division, we have a body, but we are souls. And animals, they are just them. And that's the major difference. And maybe that's because we have these problems with our bodies. You are saying about full naturality of showing your body on scene, on stage, or about, thinking about the role, about the part you are playing. But that's human thing. We have bodies. You were talking about squeezing your stomach to look better, and that's another thing. But I wanted to ask you, Anna, about this situation of having a body and having to deal with your own body. Are we schizophrenic in this culture?
No words. No.
Because, you teach people how to deal with their bodies and how to deal with their intimacy, That's why I'm asking you that question. It's not,
it's not that I teach how to
or you
deal
negotiate
with body.
with them.
No, it's about how to deal with fear, for example, and how to read your body. Because we have body, and our body speak to us. I mean that if you have fear, for example, you have symptoms. Sorry, you have, for example, headache. You are sweating. You have stomach, for example, problems. You have problems with breathing, and most of people, they do not concern about these symptoms. And if you do not know what your body speak to you, you don't know. You cannot make decisions, conscious decisions.
So your advice would be first listen to what your body wants from you, and then you will be ready to decide about what you want to do.
Yes.
But it's extremely hard. We are not used to listening to our bodies. I think that maybe actors, you have this experience.
But I wouldn't say that it's naturally. I wouldn't say it's so easily from the first moment. I would say that that's why I said in the first place that it depends from the really people who are around me, who are creating this space with me, which it should be be safe space, then it's easy. When it's not, it's there can be a problem. And I had a situation also that people from my group, I would say it wasn't so. I know how which was. I didn't felt safe. Yes, there was small activity, small words, small gesture, which made that I didn't felt good with it. What saves me was the thinking about the whole, thinking about my character, my mission in my goal in this show. So I'm really jealous that when you said that you have a group that you trust to each other and everyone wants to are ready to get really totally naked. Like that's what you saw in this show was really for me it was the highest level, and every one of you did it. So it was like I felt, oh my gosh, they really should trust themselves. It's
felt.
Amazing.
It was felt.
Felt? What does it mean? Felt?
Czuło się to?
Yes. That's why I'm telling that I'm jealous.
And it was also created from the practical point of view because we were rehearsing that with underwear, in black underwear, and we found out that the silhouette is like cut in the middle. So there was like, okay, we can use some like nude underwear thing. And I was like, wait a minute, this is so fake. Like, I am pretending that I'm naked, but I'm not. Like, no way. Like, I'm naked or I'm clothed. It's like nothing in between. So, but it was like the process of also from when we first tried to be naked. Joanna had like one sentence that, okay, but you don't or you can't like hide anything or thinking about how I look and what the audiences feel or something like that, because you lost it, you lost your emotion, you lost your situation. And also we had really great audience. Maybe if this was not created at a school with our friends, but it was created in some theater, and I don't know, maybe somebody from the audience would be like, I don't like it, and some like whistling or something like that. I don't know. It would be like, yes, handball. It would be different.
Yes, and I was lucky, but because I have a group of friends, so but I was stranger for them. I was coming from outside. We didn't know we've seen each other in school, but we didn't know. So I didn't like. It was really a process, and it wasn't like naked or we don't do the show. Yeah, we find another way. It was the process. So when Dávid said that you have to feel comfortable, it was also this, that if you don't feel comfortable, it's okay, and we will not, and you will not be naked, and we do maybe different show, maybe for younger children, because you said that is it possible to show for children, and I think it is.
I think it totally is.
It is.
That it should
just,
be.
It's like we've seen so many bad photos everywhere or on internet where body is actually treated as a thing, not as a holy part of us. And in this show, we try to show it that it's actually the body is holy. That
With respect.
respect, yes. So in some way, it should be actually shown to the children to teach that it's okay, but only with respect and only with this feeling. So this was the way, but because in school also we work with psychologist, and she teaches Pani Tymotea Wrablowa, she teaches also literature, but psychology as well, and we work with the borders. Mm-hmm. So we have a work and we've done it all. I've done it lots of work with respecting other people borders, because I work with refugees and other parts, like other groups. So it could actually finish maybe if, I don't know, I'm just saying that it could finish different way, because it was delicate work. They were really super, that they were open, but also we have a dialogue about everything. So I think it was like this. So.
Paula, yes.
Because I want to add about what you said, Dávid, about black underwear. Yes, it's not nudity. I had a situation with a student on first year. First year. He wants to make a form from a body and the head of a bird. I think, Marta, you remember it. And it was totally like, for me, oh my gosh, how we did it, how we can do it. And I felt from the beginning that he has to be naked in a half body, because when there is a panties here, it's not the same, like, leg here, but and there is a neck, yes? And also head should be covered. And we're trying like with a gum, like from like in a body color, and it wasn't that. But in effect, he was black here, only the one gum in a color of the body, and it was like, and it was something. Oh my gosh, I'm working with him in one room. When someone is coming here, what are we doing here? Like controversial, I think. So it's good that you make it the whole.
Yeah, because for me also, I saw one performance at our school. I don't know, 3 years ago, and there was supposed to be a naked woman from behind, and there was some words projected on her body, and then she turned around, and then it was really touching for me. And then she turned around, and I was like, first like, wait, where are her nipples? Okay. And then I just find out that she had covered her whole body with clothes. And I like immediately like, no, I can't believe you are trying to tell me something that is not there. It's not working for me anymore. From the moment that I found out that this is the case, and also we wasn't like from the first moment, all of us totally free, totally open about it. From the, I don't know, first 2 weeks, we were like, okay, we finished the scene, and we were like, okay, I have to turn off the lights. And they were like, okay, now I'm dressed. Okay, we can turn on the lights. And switch. 2 months later, 4 naked people, and Asha will give us some sentences. You understand?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, trying to figure out how the work looks like, because you have to change your attitude. And I think, Anna, that's the thing I wanted to ask you about, that the acceptance of your body, you don't only have to listen to your body, but you also have to accept it. And how to learn this, recently I read that Polish children, they have the highest level of lack of self-acceptance from, bodily point of view in Europe. So, what can we do in order to overpass this, lack of self-respect and self-acceptance?
I don't think it's only body acceptance. I think it's.
It was a question of body, yeah. Body. How do you look like, And they don't like how they look.
But if you do not accept yourself as yourself, you will not accept your body also. That's it.
But sometimes, I know a lot of people who think about their beautiful souls, and the body which is too fat, too big, or too small, or too whatever,
I think it's something about what do you say, and what do you want people to know about you, what do you want people to think about you, and it's not the same what you feel deep in yourself. I think it's really deep process.
Did you ever face, this sort of reaction in your work with actors, that someone would tell you that no way, no intimacy here because my body is awful, I look horrible, I can't do it?
No, I've never. It was something about boundaries. I mean, no, I will not show my intimacy, but it's not because I think it's ugly. No, I've never heard it.
And Paula, how do you remember? Do you remember from school? Because Joanna told about psychological training they had. You ever experienced this sort of training in Polish academia? Why?
No.
But do you think that it would help you?
Yes.
Why?
It's not so obvious, I think. My first experience was, I think, easier because the performance that I have to show a part of my body naked, I saw before, and I went zastępstwo. Yes, my role. I was an actress which is replacing. So I saw before what is going on, what's happening, and director asked me, am I ready to do it? I said yes. I feel it. I know. What does it mean? But it would be easier for me to feel and be aware when my boundaries are crossed. Because in that situation, I was 8 years younger, and I thought that if they are making some jokes or doing something, saying something, it's like I have to be strong. I have to take it. I have to be brave and do what I have to do, and like be. I don't care about it. You can say what you want. Yes, and after some time, I realized that no. It hurts me really, really much, and then I had to take care about myself on my way. And I think if I had a course or something or classes, I would be prepared and say no, stop it, and say to someone, maybe talk with someone, maybe I don't know, be more stronger, but not in the false way that I had.
And this is what I meant when I was talking about a fear and about body, which gives you a sign that if your boundaries are crossed, this is when your body gives you a sign when it's crossed, and then you can do what you want to do, or what you have to do.
But
For example, say stop.
Yeah, but there's also a subject which is common in last month, year, that the master class, you know what I mean, that he's doing something great. I'm taking a part in something great, so I have to. That's why I have to be strong. I have to take it on my back and do what I have to do, because this is the biggest chance of being an actress.
Power.
Yes.
But this is this sort of oppressive theater. And when Joanna was speaking about her way of directing, I was really thinking, oh my God, that's a totally different approach.
Yes, but I worked as an actress before, and I have experienced oppression and crossing my borders and having problems with... so I exactly, like... this experience helped me to not to do it. Like,
so you think, because in Poland I heard it so many times, you know, that theater has to be oppressive, that actor is a tool,
yes,
not a person,
yes,
not a proper person.
It's I think it's the way of working here. Sometimes I work in Poland as an actress, and to die on the stage was like, we should all die on the stage. This big, I don't know what it is. It's just some kind of idea of that we need to push the borders because it's theater, and I don't agree with this. I don't agree. The most important part is good process, and of course sometimes it comes through the stress, and we can all say to each other something, but trying never to cross someone else's borders, because they crossed mine. And I know that, and actually it didn't happen in Poland, it happened in Italy. And it was an Italian director, and it was a woman. So it's not always, but also in Poland it happened. And I stopped doing theater for 5 years after this, because I was really, I needed a break, break from this environment. And then I said, okay, maybe there's a different way. And I experienced actually, in Slovakia, I didn't experience yet this way of crossing. I'm not saying it's a Polish thing, I'm just saying that I didn't experience this pushing border. I'm sure it's everywhere, because it's the way we... And I know that in Poland it was 1 year ago a big thing, right? In the schools, in the theater, where women were saying that they don't want... Yes, and I completely felt that. I was not here, but I completely felt this subject. And we all, as actors, usually agree with this silently. We don't speak about that we have a problem, but because I lose a job, because I don't get another. Yes, all the time this, and it's really oppressive thing, and it's just bad for our mind. It's, of course, it will always affect us. So, yeah.
But I think it slowly changes, and the new generation of young actors. My experience, for example, is that young actors are very open to work with intimacy coordinator. But, for example, actors who has bigger experience, they do not want to co-work because they have their own mechanism how to deal with all oppression situations. They are not interested to change it. And even if we are starting talking about boundaries, I was thinking that this is sometimes crossing their boundaries because they have strong mechanism and they do not want to change it. And this is their boundaries.
Yeah, that's about the whole Me Too movement and everything that changed after. But I hope it's still changing, because your performance was 100% cruelty-free, and you, and you could feel it on stage, because really not only the subject but also the way of acting, and it wasn't like in many other moments nobody was forced to do anything, and you could feel it. It was not a model of an oppressive theater when you voluntarily cross other people's borders, like to make this transgression, to make this brutal move, and make them do something they would have never done if you wouldn't do that. So it is like some twisted logic behind that. Thank you so much. Oh, if you want to add something, Joanna.
Maybe because we prepared this 1 year, we were preparing this with Laura, who is a scenography, and we're both like vegan.
Yes, that's what I've been thinking.
But it was actually funny, because when I found that Laura is not eating meat, and in that time I didn't eat meat. Later on I have to, because some things. But I was like, this is really interesting that we are both don't eat meat, and we're doing this thing about the Bambi, and we're laughing about this. But maybe there was some, I don't know, maybe there was some connection about the cruelty-free that work with.
Yeah, and it is like cruelty-free on so many levels that I can only, bow my head. And thank you so much. Thank you for participation, Anna Zabrodzka.
Thank you.
Paula Czarnecka. Joanna Gierdal. I Dávid Selecký.